Welcome to episode 3 of Understanding the Mass. Today we'll be talking about the first part of the Liturgy of the Word, the sign of the cross.
At the start of the Mass, we do the sign of the cross. The sign of the cross is not a symbol alone, but is a prayer in itself.
When we do the sign of the cross, we do two things. We trace the cross across our body and we also say these holy words. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Many people in the Bible have called on God's name. Starting from in the book of Genesis, Adam's son Seth has called upon God's name. Noah has called upon God's name. Abraham has called upon God's name. David has called upon God's name. And even the Psalms have called upon God's name.
When we call upon God's name, we're invoking God's presence in our life. We're calling God into our life and we're inviting Him. When we invoke God's name, we're actually remembering the words that Jesus had said. When 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of them. In the story of Ezekiel, when Ezekiel was alive, the Israelites were disobeying God and they were worshipping idols. Even the priests were worshipping idols. So God demanded judgment on the Israelites. And God sent a foreign kingdom to invade them and capture the Israelites. But there were a few people who were precious to God and were still faithful to Him. So God saved these people by giving them a mark on their head. When we live in this secular world, we also do the sign of the cross. This sign of the cross separates us from the crowd. The sign of the cross comes from the last word of the Hebrew alphabet, To, which actually looks like the sign of the cross.
So the people who had the sign of the cross were kept protected away from the other people, and they were protected by God. So in the Bible, God says that they were protected when judgment came upon the Israelites.
We should always do the sign of the cross whenever we can. The sign of the cross protects us from evil, from temptation, and most importantly, from sin. The sign of the cross is also a safeguard from devils, because the evil and devil is scared of the sign of the cross, because it reminds them of the one who was crucified, the one who smashed the heads of dragons. Do you have moments of discouragement?
Do you have sufferings?
Do you have feelings of vanity and anxiety?
Make the sign of the cross.
In our next video, we will be talking more about the next step about the introductory rite.
Tune into our channel.